Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. Thanks for joining the session. I am Shkil Ahmed. I belongs to Deanship of eLearning and IT, and I'm here to discuss about blended learning strategies in higher education. I believe everyone in the participant list belongs to teaching profession from long time, and being educationists, we do agree that education is no longer just about putting pen to paper and monitoring or memorizing facts. Today, innovative educators in both higher education and corporate learning and development are improving learning through technology, as evidenced by rapid adoption of technology-assisted teaching methods and blended learning models. Technology provides students with easy to access information, accelerated learning, and fun opportunities to practice what they learn. It enables students to explore new subjects and deepen their understanding of difficult concepts. Through the use of technology inside and outside the classroom, students can gain 21st century technical skills necessary for future opportunities. Still, children learn more effectively with direction. The World Economic Forum reports that while technology can help young students learn and acquire knowledge through playing, for example, evidence suggests that learning is more effective through guidance from an adult, such as a teacher. Leaders and administration should take stock of where their faculty are in terms of their understanding of online spaces. From lesson learned during this disruptive time, they can implement solutions now for the future. As we face big change in every field of our life after COVID-19 pandemic, the COVID-19 has resulted in schools shut all across the world. Globally, over 1.2 billion children were out of the classroom during the COVID. In the face of global pandemic, many of us found we had little choices other than to quickly pivot to virtual work, learning, and training solutions. So that was the only solution. We had to convert our studies online. So entering e-learning, which has proven more beneficial than ever before. COVID gave us a big lesson for us why we need to adopt technology. If you can have a look on the history of e-learning, it started in 1960s, the first computerized training program. And by the time it was developing, but especially after 2010, a new wave of mobile-based learning introduced at that time, but that was completely transformed in 2020, where collaborate, mobile, on-demand, and blended learning has been started. And this is the special topic and basic knowledge we are going to discuss about the blended learning, that what is blended learning and how it is different from the face-to-face learning, and how we can combine the face-to-face and online learning using the different technology assisted devices. So let's have a look. What is e-learning or online learning? As everyone agreed and we have a knowledge about e-learning, that e-learning or electronic learning is the delivery of learning and training through digital resources. Although e-learning is based on formalized learning, it is provided through electronic devices such as computer, tablets, and even cellular phones that are connected to the internet. So let's have a look that how we can define the blended learning. Blended learning combines classroom learning with online learning, in which students can in part control the time, pace, and place of their learning. I suggest or I support a teacher-designed blended learning why I do sport design, mean like teacher design blended learning model, because in which teachers determine the combination that's right for them and their students. So why adoption of technology is important? The COVID-19 pandemic is quickly demonstrating why online education should be a vital part of teaching and learning. By integrating technology into existing curricula, as opposed to using it solely as a crisis management tool. Teachers can harness online learning as a powerful educational tool. The effective use of digital learning or digital learning tools in classrooms can increase student engagement, help teachers improve their lesson plans, and facilitate personalized learning. It also helps students build essential 21st century skills. Virtual classrooms, video augmented reality, robots, and other technology tools can not only make class livelier, but they can also create more inclusive learning environments that, that can foster collaboration and enable teachers to collect data on students' performance. Still, it's important to note that technology is a tool used in education and not an end in itself. So we do need to understand that what is blended learning inside the classroom. So there is a small video I'm gonna share with you, and you have to be like focused on this video. And in the end, I would ask you a question that what is blended learning inside the classroom, and you have to answer me in single sentence. So this is a question before starting or giving you a demo video about the blended learning inside the classroom. So you have to answer me in the chat box only with one sentence, what is blended learning?
What is blended learning? Well, it's a combination of two models. The first one, we all know it. Teacher, students, a regular classroom setting with the board. Basically, the teacher is delivering content and leading the instruction. It's a traditional model that has been in place for a long time, with the teacher facing the students and the students facing the teacher in a brick and mortar school setting. This model is called a face-to-face model, since we are facing each other in the physical world. So this is the first component of the blended learning, that very traditional model of instruction. Now something happens, and we all know it. It's called internet, and that changed a few things. Now students can access content online, cloud-based, which means they do not need to be in school anymore to access instruction or to actually work together with a teacher. And that changed a few things. They can work at home, in a coffee place. They can actually almost work in the school bus on the way to school. Wherever they are, as long as they have internet, they can access that content. This model is called online teaching, since you are learning and teaching online. It's a very common model in higher education these days. So, what is blended learning? Well, it's a combination of those two models, the face-to-face model and the online teaching model. Now, let's have a look at an example. You're going to have students watch a presentation, and they can be watching that presentation on blended learning, for example. With cloud-based devices, they do not need to be in school anymore to hear your lecture. They can watch your presentation pretty much anywhere and wherever they are, as long as they can access that content. And then you can have a discussion on that presentation in school with a teacher monitoring the exchanges and leading higher thinking activities. This is not just about discussions though. It could be a group project, it could be a writing assignment. All those tasks can be conducted in both environments, face-to-face in school and /or online on internet. Blended learning is a combination of those two models. So, what blended learning is about is how much you want your teaching to happen online and how much you want it to be face-to-face. It could be a teacher or a school decision as well. What matters the most though is to create a community of learners where students can exchange, discuss, and work together on both environments, face-to-face and online.
So here, I believe everyone get the idea that what is blended learning. We do have a 2-minute session. So can you please answer me in the chat box, what is blended learning, but only with one sentence. And please do not copy and paste. Please write your own way of understanding. What did you understand by this video, or by we have started with the session. So what is blended learning? That is great. Combination of two models, but you have to go with the details. Mean like one sentence which could give us an answer that what is understanding about blended learning. Okay, blended learning is a combination of in-person and online. Great answer. Face-to-face and online teaching. Great. Anyone else? Please, we do have 65 participants at the moment. I'm looking for everyone to participate. We have 2 minutes. Waiting for the responses from 66 participants. Okay, Mr. Kamran Rasool, great answer. Luisa Torza, that's great. Anyone else? Okay, can you please give me some like examples for blended learning? Anyone do have an idea about blended learning examples? How we can explain using any example? Great, Dr. Ahmed. Blended learning is a mixture, a number of methods and techniques. True. Dr. Muhammad, that is combined approach to learning like we are doing now. Great. Like traditional lectures and teaching through any LMS. Great example. Supplement the material online after tutorial classes, traditional classes. Great. Munawar Sultana, offline and online. It's pretty simple answer. I'm looking for creative answers. Use a PBV with our face-to-face classes. Great. Okay, some of them got engaged in this activity, but I believe everyone gets an idea about what is blended learning. So we are going to.
What is blended learning? Well,
So next, before taking some details, we do need to understand the types of blended learning models. That this is really important about understanding, to develop the understanding about blended learning models. So we do have 4 blended learning models. The majority of blended learning programs resembles one of the 4 models. That is rotation, flex, a la carte, and enriched virtual. The rotation model includes 4 submodels, that is station rotation, lab rotation, flipped classrooms, and individual rotations. If you can have a look on the picture on left side, you can see there are 4 major models, that is rotation model, flex model, a la carte model, enriched virtual model. So we're going to take start with the rotation model, which already has 4 submodels. So we do need to a short look for all these 4. So let's take a start with the rotation model. A rotation model is a course or subject in which students rotate on a fixed schedule or at the teacher's discretion between learning modalities. at least one of which is online learning. Other, you can say, model might include activities such as small group or full class instructions, group projects, individual tutoring, and pencil and paper assignments. The student learn mostly on the brick and mortar campus, mean on campus, except for any homework assignment. So if we have to take a look about the station rotation, that is the first like model, the sub model for the rotation model, that is a course or subject in which students experience the rotation model within a continued classroom or group of classrooms. The station rotation model differs from the individual rotation models because students rotate through all of the stations, not only those on their custom schedules. And the second one is a lab rotation. It's pretty simple, a course or subject in which the students rotate to a computer lab for the online learning stations. For example, you have a theory lecture inside the classrooms, but later on you do have a practical session. So you move your students into the classroom, from the classroom to the computer lab. So that is lab rotation model. The next one is flipped classroom, a course in which students participate in online learning offsite in place of traditional homework, and then attend the school for face-to-face, teacher-guided practice or projects. The primary delivery of content and instruction is online, which differentiates a flip cart classrooms from students who are merely doing homework practice online at night. So for developing more understanding, I have a short video for that 4 models, which can give you an idea about this one. But before this video, I would like to give you the idea that what we are going to discuss about this one. One thing I left it over here, the bottom one, that is individual rotation. A subject in which each student has an individualized playlist and does not necessarily rotate to each available station or modality. An algorithm or teacher sets individual student schedules. So teacher can set a special schedule for individuals for learning platforms. So that is called individual rotation. The next one is flex model. I'm going to give you a little introduction for all 4 models. Then we do have a model videos which can give you a more in-depth idea that what these models are with the example. The second model is the flex model. Flex model is a course in which online learning is a backbone of students' learning. Even it directs students to offline activities at a time. Students move on an individually customized, fluid schedule among learning modalities. The teacher of record is on-site and students learn mostly on the campus, except for any homework assignments. The third one is the a la carte model, a course that a student takes entirely online to accompany other experiences that the student is having at a school or learning center. The teacher of record for the a la carte course is the online teacher. Students may take the course either on the campus or offsite. This differs from full-time online learning because it is not whole school experience, and students take some courses and some online and some other face-to-face inside the campus. So this model is a la carte model is implemented in Jazan University. Like some of the students for graduation like studies, they are doing some courses face-to-face, And some courses, the easy courses, are completely online. We can give the example, quote the example for the computer. For example, computer 122, that is complete online course. Sahafa Alam and some other courses like this, the easy courses, they have been shifted online completely. But rest of the courses which do have the practical involved or anything else, they can be done face to face. So this model is already implemented in Jazan University. The last one is Enriched virtual model. This model is basically in which students have required face-to-face learning sessions with their teachers, and then are free to complete their remaining coursework remote from the face-to-face teacher. Online learning is the backbone of the students' learning when the students are located remotely. This is really important a model for the students who are in the distance learning, or especially they are living far away and they cannot reach to the campus on daily basis. So a teacher can accommodate them online, or they can take classes in face-to-face, and then remaining tasks, the assignments, the online tasks, they can perform from their homes. The same person generally serves as both the online and face-to-face teacher. Many virtual programs begin as full-time online schools and then develop blended learning programs to provide students with inside school experiences. The enriched virtual model differ from the flipped classrooms because in virtual programs, students meet face-to-face with the teachers every weekdays, because for the complete online classrooms, there is no connection between the teacher and students, and there is no face-to-face meetings. But there is the flipped classrooms, as we discussed, that something we have to discuss online, and there is weekdays meetings and students can communicate with the teachers face-to-face. It also differs from a fully online course because face-to-face learning sessions are more than optional office hours or social events, they are required. So all these four models, we do have an idea about introduction about the rotation model, the flex model, the la carte model, the enriched virtual model. So we do have a small video about these four models, which can give you an idea in depth that what these models discuss for and how they work.
The definition of blended learning is a formal educational program in which a student learns at least in part through online learning with some element of student control over time, place, path, and or pace, at least in part in a supervised brick and mortar location away from home. And the modalities along each student's learning path within a course or subject are connected to provide an integrated learning experience. The majority of blended learning programs resemble one of the four models I'll describe in this video, and they include the rotation, the flex, a la carte, and enriched virtual. Now the rotation model includes four submodels, one of which is the flipped or upside down classroom, and I'll describe that in another video. Here are the definitions of these four blended learning models. Number one is the rotation model. And this is a program in which, within a given course or subject, students rotate between learning modalities, at least one of which is online learning. Other modalities might include activities such as small group or full class instruction, group projects, individual tutoring, and pencil and paper assignments. Number two is the flex model. And this is a program in which the online learning is the backbone of student learning, even if it directs students to offline activities at times. Students move on an individually customized, fluid schedule among learning modalities, and the teacher of record is on site. Now, the teacher of record or other adults provide face-to-face support on a flexible and adaptive as-needed basis through activities such as small group instruction, group projects, and individual tutoring. Some implementations may have substantial face-to-face support, and others may have minimal. Some flex models may have face-to-face certified teachers who supplement the learning on a daily basis, whereas others may provide little face-to-face enrichment. Others may have combinations of different kinds of staffing. Number three is the a la carte model. And this is a program in which students take one or more courses entirely online with an online teacher of record, and at the same time continue to have brick and mortar educational experiences. Students may take the online courses either on the brick and mortar campus or off-site. And this differs from full-time online learning and the enriched virtual model because it's not a whole school experience. And number 4 is the enriched virtual model. And this is a whole school experience in which within each course, students divide their time between attending a brick and mortar campus and learning remotely using online delivery of content and instruction. And many enriched virtual programs began as full-time online schools and then developed blended programs to provide students with brick and mortar school experiences. The enriched virtual model differs from the flipped classroom because in enriched virtual programs, students seldom attend the brick and mortar campus every day. And it differs from the a la carte model because it's a whole school experience, not a course by course model.
Can someone please tell me that what is a la carte model? Can someone please answer what is a la carte model? Which I told you that is already implemented in Jazan University. Can anyone please let me know what is a la carte model? Great. Take some courses online. Good. Anyone else? One-on-one course. A la carte model is already implemented in Jazan University. Can someone else tell me what is a la carte model? No. Shalini? That is not student choice based course. Anyone else, please? We do have 75 participants at the moment. Can you please tell me what is a la carte model? And that model is already implemented in Jazan University. Great answer. Dr. Rubina, very good answer. Anyone else, please? The simple and precise answer from Dr. Rubina. We have 15 seconds more to move on. 76 participants. Can someone please let me know what is a la carte model? Introductory courses are provided online only. Abu Ghala, great answer. Good. Mixture of on-campus and online courses. Somehow it's okay. Dr. Shella, online courses, distance learning courses, no. Anyone else, please? A la carte model is implemented in Jazan University. Okay, the best answer is important courses are face-to-face and easy courses are online. I gave you an example for Jazan University that like computer 122, that is completely online course. Sahafa Alam, that is easiest course. So there is no practical, more practical involved. So that is online course, but rest of the all courses which need a face-to-face learning, they are face-to-face. So this model is implemented in Jazan University, and they are using like this way. So we're going to take move on. What are the components of blended learning? We do have 4 components. And what 4 components? Face-to-face learning, digital learning, student control, and integrated learning. We're going to start from the face-to-face learning. In face-to-face learning, teacher and student need to be in the same place for some of the learning. Traditionally, traditionally, this is either a face-to-face lesson in the classroom or an in-class activity that follow up the virtual lesson. So whatever the thing that is been happening inside the classroom, and teacher is present inside the classroom and students are also available, that is called face-to-face learning. During distance learning, teachers have needed to modify this approach and use live video conferencing software to meet the requirements of the face-to-face component. And especially after COVID-19, that we have seen a drastic change, that there was no physical interaction and there is no presence inside the campus. So there was a solution for that one, that Blackboard offered a virtual classroom, so everyone took the classroom. So you can say that that was the presence of the face-to-face learning, that when you are not present inside the campus, but you are live with each other. There is no conditions to be stay on the one place, but they are interacting with each other similarly like you are interacting inside the classroom. So that is also, you can go with the video conferencing software to meet the requirements of the face-to-face components. While the teacher and students are not in the same physical room, they are meeting in a common virtual classroom at the same time. That is called synchronously. And the next one is digital learning. But before moving to the digital learning, I'm going to give you a demo video which can give you an examples that how face-to-face learning works. Be focused, might be there is a question.
I will be discussing what is face-to-face learning. Face-to-face learning is an instructional method where learning materials are taught in person to a group of students or learners. This is live interaction between the students and the teacher. In face-to-face learning instruction, students attend their classes daily with a specific time and place. And this is what we call traditional learning. Traditional learning is a more effective way of the learning process by combining different ways of learning, such as reading, writing, live discussion or interaction, group presentation, demonstration, and projects.
So that was a little discussion about the face-to-face learning. It's pretty easy. Everyone is experiencing this one, so there is no question for this. So I'm gonna move on. That is digital learning. A part of blended learning experience must be through an online or digital channel. This could be facilitated through a video, digital text, or an interactive website. Teachers have flipped lessons requiring students to learn content at home virtually and then following that up with a face-to-face lesson the next day. You can give them an assignment online and ask them to be prepared at home, and the next day inside the classroom you can discuss, make the discussion with that topic. Other times, teachers have integrated the online learning components into a station in the classroom. In this case, students complete the online components in the face-to-face classrooms. You can use the digital devices inside the classroom to give them some assignments to complete as well. And during remote learning, the online portion of blended learning has increased, and students work through self-paced lessons and then meet with the entire class during the video meeting. So it can be done by using the digital learning, that sometimes you are using the digital devices inside the classroom, sometimes you are sending them home the assignments and asking them to prepare assignments online, and then you can have the discussion next day, or you have a complete online classes. That is called digital learning. We do have a small model video for this one.
Technology has revolutionized the way we live, work, shop, and play, and it has the power to transform education. Imagine an education made just for you, personalized, engaging, challenging. That is the power of digital learning. Digital learning gives students control over where they learn, when they learn, and most importantly, how they learn. Computers, tablets, smartphones, technology of every kind lets students learn anywhere and everywhere, anytime and all the time. Technology makes knowledge accessible and learning portable. But the true promise of digital learning is its ability to customize education for each and every student. Engaging, interactive software can adapt instruction to the style and pace of each student, so no student is bored and no student is left behind. A decade ago, providing a customized education to millions of students across the nation was just a dream. Today, digital learning can turn that dream into reality.
So can anyone answer what is digital learning in one sentence? Only one sentence, please. We have 30 seconds. We do have 30 seconds. Just quick question that what is digital learning? Student-based learning. Okay, good. Anyone else? We do have 30 seconds only. What is digital learning? Adopting technology in learning experience, great. Students self-paced and self-based learning, great. Dr. Shalini, Arusa, Dr. Arusa, that's self-learning. No, please add something else. Technology, without technology, how they can do it by self-learning, effective use of technology, great. Dr. Shala Abasi, great. Anyone else, please? That is the best. Learning through digital resources, okay, or you are adopting digital resources in your class, inside class or outside classroom. You are giving the choice to the students by adjusting their pace and base. Student customize, okay, students use technology to enhance their learning anywhere. Dr. Osama, well done. So it means you already getting an idea about the components. The next most important, we are just discussing about digital learning, that we the student can have the choice for pace and base, and this is what we're going to discuss about inside student control. This is the third blended learning component and really important component. Why it is important? Because an important aspect of blended learning is that some controls of learning is transferred from the teacher to the student. So specifically, students need to control one or more of the following elements of learning. So do remember what 4 elements students can have by their choice, that is pace, place, path, and time. What that is? Pace, place, path, and time. So what is pace? Students move through content at the pace that is best for them. So they can decide, student can decide how he has to start, he or she can continue their studies. Again, this doesn't mean that there is no due date, but it does mean that students have flexibility for how long they spend on certain content. Students who are advanced don't need to wait for others, and students who need a little more time can take it, since they are not confined to bells or class periods. So varied pace can be a great way to differentiate in the blended learning. So what we have discussed in the pace, that it doesn't mean that there is no due date or there is no restrictions of the time, unlimited time. That is not the way. But inside classroom, for example, you have 30 students. Not all the students can continue their studies in the same pattern. And they're not, some students might be very intellectuals, they can perform their task in 5 minutes, but the others may need 20 minutes to perform their task. So different type of students can perform in blended learning in a better way. They do have the control. Students have the control. Teacher transfers some of the controls to the students to decide what time they can follow all the content. For example, there is one assignment and teacher gonna give them, okay, tomorrow everyone have to submit this assignment online. So students getting the 24 hours. If students are advanced, they can perform their task within hour and submit online. But the others may need some time, so they can take time and they have 24 hours to complete it, and that doesn't affect their grades or exam studies over there. So that is one of the best way of blended learning component, that you have to go with the student control, that is pace. The second one is place, especially once you are involving with the digital technologies and devices. At that time, student decides where they will complete their lessons. When students are not in their physical classrooms, they can complete their work anywhere they have access to the internet. Even in a traditional classroom, teachers often allow students to choose the place in the classroom where they learn best. This is one of the best idea, that sometimes the student shy to sit in front. So you can ask them, you can give them a choice where you can sit and where you can perform in a best way. This can be done inside the classroom as well. This use of flexible seating can be empowering. That can also empower the students if you can give and flexible with the seating arrangement or where he or she want to sit. The third one is path. This might be the most empowering component of the four. The reason behind students choose how they will learn the content. This may take a bit more planning on the teacher's part, but it can allow students to truly learn in the way that works best for them. Sometimes this means working alone or with a partner. Other times it means choosing the medium for the content. It might be text, video, audio, any type of content. They can choose it to learn. And still other times it may allow students to develop their own path by the inquiry process. So they can inquire that which path is good for them, so they can choose over there. One popular method for differentiating this path is to offer a choice board where students need to choose one learning activity from each column. This ensures that they complete the necessary components of the lesson while also giving them choices. So this is another good way to enhance their creativity. And the last one is time. Students can decide when they will complete their lessons. That does not mean that there is no deadline, but it does mean that students can choose when to do their work in the time frame outlined, as long as it's finished by the due date. As I just discussed, that student control means that there is an assignment timing of 24 hours. So whatever the student capability, they can have the finish line, draw line. So if someone is submitting in 1 hour or in 20 hours, it doesn't mean, but at the end, their grade will be assigned after the submission of the assignment on due date. So time is also important, and they can decide. This is also part of student control. While this flexibility is empowering many students, and it benefits by establishing a routine for doing their work, completing it at a self-scheduled time each day. So students' management skills will be essential. But again, I'm telling you that students, if you are giving them unlimited time, they will not respond to you. The due date and restricted time is also very important to decide that they have to return back to the teacher on time. If they're not going to submit, they are going to lose the grades. So all these components are important in student control. We have discussed 4 elements. That is, what are the 4 elements? I just discussed 4 elements. And what are the 4 elements? Pace, place, path, and time. Pace, place, path, and time. These are the 4 elements which are essential in student control, and they are really good to motivate the students. Pace, place, path, and time. Great. Dr. Sheikh Shakira Shakra, thank you. Do remember pace, place, path, and time. These 4 elements you can say the creative, enhance the creative skills for the students. So some of the control you have to transfer to the students to make him or her feel comfortable. The last one is integrated learning. While sometimes overlooked, this is a very important part of the equation that for blended learning or really work, the face-to-face and online parts of the lesson need to work together. One should build on the other and thus strengthen the overall learning. And for instance, a student might participate in a flipped lesson where they watch a video to learn content. Then in class, the student might apply the skills learned in the video lesson, and sometimes it works the other way around, and the teacher needs to guide students more personally through the learning experience that sets up the online work. Or in either case, if the 2 parts are not tied together, then learning isn't really blended. Even when the face-to-face component is done via remote video conferencing software, rather than in a physical classroom, that experience should connect with the other remote work students are like completing. So this is integration of learning is also really important. So it based on the teacher that how he can motivate the students and how he can deal with the students by using the technologies. I do have a demo video for integrated learning, so you can have a look how it works. So what are the examples for this integrated learning? That is, the best example is LMS system, learning management system. What is learning management system? The system we are using for online classes, that is Blackboard. Earlier, we do have different systems, but right now we are using Blackboard. That is one of the best example for integrated learning. In-class response system, adaptive learning platforms, tablets, smartphones, all these are the examples for this integrated learning. Learning analytics and more. The landscape of blended learning tools and technologies is not only vast, but also still evolving. The most common technology used in blended learning, however, has been and remains to be video. As we have discussed many times that nowadays, instead of the written or text form, the student can have more choices and they can learn easily by using the visual effects. If you're using some kind of videos in your lectures, if you're bringing some kind of 3D animations or effects, that can be more helpful for the teachers to make it available for the students, and students would have more interest in this type of techniques by giving them some kind of practical videos, or you have to record by yourself. For example, if you are going to discuss for some special kind of softwares which need to use for the students, so instead of going directly applying commands in front of them, you have to sit at home and prepare a tutorial. Because inside the classroom, sometimes what is happening that not all the commands working properly, so you have to prepare the tutorial at home, and by explaining with the voiceover, you can give them that video to the students. So I believe they can have more creative skills by using or watching the video, and they come up with the more solutions and more easy tricks and tips to give you an idea and answers that how the software can run. So video is one of the powerful tool to make learning enhanced for the students and for the teacher as well. In the end, that is, we have to discuss which technologies are used in blended learning. So that is really important. So let's have a look about the technologies. Tech integration in blended learning. The first one, learning management system. This is the most powerful tool which enable for integrated learning or blended learning, because even if you are in the class, you do have an option to use the learning management system. Learning management system is a complete replica of face-to-face learning. You can set a complete classroom over there with their courses, and you can send them quizzes, you can assign the assignments, you can create a discussion board over there. And even if you are not able to take the physical face-to-face learning classroom, you can convert to video conferencing software, that is virtual lectures, that is already available in the Blackboard. So learning management system is one of the best and powerful tool for integration in blended learning. Second, we already discussed about videos. By adding the videos can enhance the study, and for the students, especially for the young students, they are more interactive towards videos instead of the text. Then you can go with the digital textbooks instead of the physical books. Sometimes students do not need to carry the heavy books with them in their bags. So everyone here, especially in Middle East, in Saudi Arabia, the gadgets are really important for everyone. So everyone have the smartphones. You can suggest them some digital textbooks so they can read from their smart devices by using some kind of digital platforms, their laptops, their phones or tablets or iPads, whatever they have the gadgets they can use to read the digital textbooks. And I think so the young generation is more towards the digital textbooks instead of the physical books. And the fourth one is blogs and wikis. This is another one integration in blended learning. You can use blogs and wikis, social bookmarking, mashups, digital storytelling. All these tools are really important. What are the mashups? Mashups available in the learning management system. And during my session, I believe I gave you a complete idea. What is mashups, by the way? Do anyone have an idea about mashups? Anyone? And the participants, anyone, do you have an idea about mashups? This is very common word, and that is available in our learning management system, especially in the Blackboard. And I'm going to give you a clue, and here one tip that who answer who no, where is that one? No, Dr. Michelle. No, mashup. I'm gonna give you one idea that if you want to share one of the picture with a student, and but you, because once you try to share something from YouTube, the picture or the video, there are too many other videos also being in the queue. How you can avoid all these unnecessary videos? That is being done using mashups. Mashup can only show the specific video from the YouTube which you want to share with the students, and there is no related videos, a long list, or the different content which you do not need to share with them. You can use the mashups, and very good options and very interesting option that is available in our learning management system. You can go and explore that one, because during my trainings, I do remember that we discussed in detail about mashups. Digital storytelling is current era's one of the best way to discuss about the stories, and I can give you one of the one example. Couple of week ago, there is one of our uncle, I mean, like he came Jazan from Dammam, and he was sitting, and suddenly he discussed one of the story that was like poem over there. He memorized, and he all the time he repeating that one, and suddenly it clicks an idea in my mind that why don't I record that poem? Believe me, I made a recording and put on the YouTube, and it become viral, because everyone is love to go with the digital storytelling instead of, because once someone is telling the story face to face, might possible he can reach for few people, but if you have the content, digital content, it can reach for the millions. So in few days he become viral, and everyone is discussing about that poem, because that uncle has discussed about this poem, and everyone is interested to listen that one. So always go with this digital storytelling instead of sending them the textbooks or many other things. So try to convert your content into digital storytelling form. And one of the best form is like nowadays, there being a traveler, I'm telling you that many people traveling around the world, and once they prepare some kind of videos and they return back, instead of telling everyone where did I have traveled, you just show them the videos, the pictures online. They can easily understand what kind of places you have visited, and and even people can plan by watching that videos and pictures. So that is the power of storytelling, digital storytelling. Simulations are important. You can prepare the simulations for the specific softwares which are difficult. So you can prepare the simulations and tell the students. So simulations can have the step-by-step introduction about the software, so students can easily understand that one. Games, no need to discuss, because games are games. Anyone want to play the games, and learning through games is one of the best thing. And virtual world, and last one is e-portfolio. A month before, I think I had one session about digital portfolios, one of the powerful tool for the teachers, for the students to present their skills to others, or to any of the company, to the institutions, to anyone. So e-portfolios are another best tool to present your skills. That's all from tech integration in blended learning. Last but not least, we are going to discuss about benefits of blended learning. Though we are from last 1 hour, we already discussing about the benefits. But what are the core benefits about blended learning? Here we do have a look about this. Have a look about this model video, and then we have to discuss about this one.
Environment. These days, we ask a lot from our teachers. Differentiating learning, accommodating various learning styles, teaching 21st century skills such as collaboration and digital literacy, and of course the usual, grade papers, create lesson plans, make copies, etc., etc. This can feel extremely overwhelming and leaving us wondering how we can meet successfully those requirements, since there is one constant constraint: time. We cannot expand the school day infinitely. Plus, our students have changed as well. Ask students a question these days, and their first instinct will be to Google it. This immediate access to information has profoundly changed the teacher's role. We used to be the main provider of information, lecturing and monopolizing the center stage with our knowledge. However, such a model has outlived its age. Even the whiteboard, standing at the center stage of the learning environment, has almost outlived its abilities. Students are growing up in a world where they can access data anywhere, anytime, and even better, themselves control the amount of data that is being delivered to them. The whiteboard, with its one-size-fits-all model, cannot successfully reach today's generation. After all, in more and more living rooms in America, the TV does not stand at the center stage of entertainment anymore and has been replaced by personal devices. So, what do we do now? How do we accommodate those 21st century students while meeting all those expectations? Well, I believe that the blended learning environment can be part of the solution. So let's have a look at those benefits of such a learning environment and how it can help us meet those challenges. Challenge number 1, time. The blended learning environment, with its online component, saves time. No more time spent copying, stapling, hole punching documents. Just upload them directly in the cloud and make them available online for your students anywhere, anytime. Also, with the flipped classroom component of the blended learning environment, instead of spending class time lecturing, you can have students watch your presentation at home and then spend that class time for classroom discussions and higher thinking activities. So yes, you not only save time, but you gain time. And with that gain of time, you can finally meet some of the requirements expected from the teacher, as well as offering a learning environment more suited to the 21st century students. With the online component of the blended learning environment, you can not only upload your presentation online, but you can also add multimedia assets to it, such as pictures, videos, to satisfy the various learning styles of your students. They can now pause and rewind the lecture for taking notes on that presentation. Even better, if you have your students watch the presentation in class, you not only clone yourself many times, but you also free yourself up for helping individual students who might require more attention and may have more questions. So you can finally meet the requirement of differentiated instruction and satisfy as well the new learning styles of our 21st century students. So, not only you have more time for classroom discussions, but you can also change the nature of them. In the past, classroom discussions sometimes led to a few students monopolizing the discussion while the rest of the class sit back. With a combination of online and face-to-face time, students who can be shy in the traditional classroom setting might feel more comfortable participating in online forums and discussion. And you increase as well your one-to-one interaction with your students, since they can ask you questions in person or online. So not only the blended learning environment favors a student-centered approach, but it also makes a paradox possible: to promote individual approach while favoring group work. For example, with cloud-based apps, students can collaborate in real time, but also asynchronous, working from anywhere within the school, but also across the globe, fostering exchanges beyond cultures and countries. So, to summarize the benefits of the blended learning environment, with its unique combination of face-to-face and online learning, you naturally save and gain time to promote student-centered instructions, but also favor differential instructions and accommodate the new learning styles of our 21st century students. And finally, you can promote collaboration. Last but not least, it allows you to create a community of learners who have an easier access and control to class materials, but also to each other beyond the school day, and finally, to the teacher. This concludes.
So last
Environment.
but not least, we have discussed a lot of things about blended learning benefits. We have discussed that it can provide a safer learning environment and it can increase students' engagement for sure. Students have more, you can say, autonomy over their learning, efficient use of instructor time, and gather learning data for better insight. This is one of the best benefit, that everything is online, digitally available. So even for the last couple of years, you need data to go a better insight. You can collect the data, access and enroll more students in this way. We have discussed a lot of things, but one thing in the end, I would like to ask you, because I can see in the participant list, a lot of teachers, many teachers from the English department. We are discussing that how we can make our lectures thrilling using the technology and different devices. Being a computer professional, I do have a lot of examples that we can create different softwares tutorials. We can prepare some kind of models. We can go with the 3D models to bring the interest, to make the interest, to create a skill level for the students more intensively and more carefully, and they can have more learning experience at that one. Can someone please let me know that how English language subject can be made thrilling by using the blended learning? Can you please answer for this one in one sentence? Everyone, I would request all the English learning teachers to answer this one. How we can make English language course thrilling by using the technology? We have 30 seconds and I'm looking for answer from your side, that how you can make your subject more thrilling by using the blended learning technologies, especially for the English language subject. Hearing the spoken language, please give some examples for the visual content, how you can make your subject or your lesson more thrilling for the students using the technology, using the visual impact. Facilitating students with grammar videos, it's okay, showing some videos, but this is not the exact answer what I am looking for. I'm looking that what kind of videos, how you can make them understand that this subject is not difficult, this would be very easy subject. Showing video dialogues, somehow you can say. Any other answer? Anyone else, please? Many teacher I can see in the list from the English department. I'm waiting for the best answer. Good. Dr. Rubina, giving different task-based activities, learning apps like Kahoot, good. Extending traditional class online by using Blackboard as a platform, also Using collaborative tools for better involvement in the learning process. Good. Videos and audio clips related to the discussion topics. Dude, oh, that's great answer. Dr. Arusa, doodling PPTs. This is one of the best option. Interactive quizzes, good. Dr. Sana Server, good answer. This type of answers I'm expecting from your side, that how you can make thrilling your lecture, especially once you do not have this kind of technological enhancement or something like that. You cannot show them by the softwares or something related to computers or like this. How you can make it more thrilling your subject and more interesting instead of getting bored, because I believe most of the students are running away from the English language course, because this is not our first, I mean, like all the Arabs or Asians, this is the second language. So everyone have the problem with this one. So how you can make it more thrilling? Okay, let's have a look about blended learning models, and then we are going to discuss about this. I do have an idea. We will discuss after this video.
I have built a great relationship with the students with the one-to-one. Traditional classroom, I would go over things on the board and regurgitate what I would learn the next day, and I would still go around and help them. I feel that the computers have given me a better relationship with the students. For one, like I just said, they're now teaching me sometimes, and they get a kick out of that. Like, let me show you how to do this. And I feel that it builds a better rapport with us and the students.
The Blended Learning Implementation Guide discusses 4 phases, including planning. During this phase, school leaders must set goals and select or develop a school model. After planning decisions have been made, school communities can then implement and improve on their blended learning model. Blended learning combines the best of personalized online learning with face-to-face on-site support and hands-on application. Through the flex and rotational models, students are given some control over the time, place, path, and pace.
Blended learning overall to me means that it's an application of technology within a traditional brick and mortar place called school. But those applications can be blended differently.
What's exciting about now is we have technology that can do that coordination so that we can have every student learning at their own pace, mastering concepts before moving on. We can have a reality so that the classroom is no longer about one pace fits all lecture for everyone, but instead about interacting with the human beings in the room, interacting with the teacher, and interacting with your fellow peers.
2 examples of blended learning models are the rotation model and the flex model. In a rotation model, students move from a traditional environment to an online environment. At KIPP Empower in Los Angeles, students rotate within the classroom.
So by having 15 laptops in every single classroom, it allows our students a chance to rotate on and off the computers to both receive instruction from their teachers as well as from the online content providers. The students are going to get a chance to further their 21st century skills, as well as to engage in the learning environment in many fun and engaging ways that they wouldn't be doing otherwise.
In School of One and Teach to One classrooms, middle school math students move between stations.
New Classrooms is reimagining the classroom itself. We have a new model called Teach to One that combines live instruction, online instruction, and collaborative learning all in a way that enables personalized learning for kids. In Teach to One, students can learn live with the teacher with either discrete skills or with project-based learning. They can learn collaboratively with each other. They can learn online with software. They can learn by themselves with books. They can learn with virtual tutors located anywhere around the world. By combining all of these modalities into a single learning environment, we can then contemporaneously teach multiple things, and that's what enables personalized learning.
Flex models are most common in next-generation high schools. Students in flex schools move at their own pace through an online curriculum and benefit from on-site support and application.
You have huge open spaces for learning. We're not talking classrooms anymore. The role of teachers have been redefined to really be coaches for students and to help pull them out into different experiences, whether it's group projects or small group instruction as makes sense.
In addition to benefiting students, blended learning has the potential to improve working conditions and career options for teachers.
over time, you started to get better and better, and you started to feel more confident in your teaching, and you saw that students were taking this piece of technology and they were tweaking it, and you were learning. And to be honest, I was learning more from my students and my colleagues more than I actually searched and looked online for anything else. It was really amazing how the kids were teaching the teachers, and we were also giving them the curriculum at once as well.
For those who are skeptical of blended learning, I would encourage them to come out and talk to our teachers, come out and talk to our kids. They're native digital learners. They talk about the level of engagement that they have. We have early data to suggest that our kids are learning at greater rates than they've ever learned before. Parents are excited to see that their children come home liking school again. They don't talk about being bored in the classroom, they talk about being engaged and learning at high levels.
So in the end, that was just an overview for the blended learning model. So we were discussing about how we can have to develop the interest for the English language. I gonna unmute everyone, and I would request everyone to participate in this one. So give any idea that how we can make it more interesting, our English language lectures. But before this one, that I would like to inform everyone that registration and attendance is mandatory to receive the electronic certificate for this session. So I have just shared with you the registration link. You just need to click on that one, log in with your Jazan University user ID and password, locate the course that is blended learning strategies, and join that course. That is available. Registration is still open till tonight, and then you can be able to receive the certificate. If someone is get registered but not attended the session, it means they will not receive the certificate. And even someone attended but they didn't get registered, so it means they will not receive the they will not receive the e-certificate as well. The second and most important part, that everyone, all the participants in the participant list, just click on your participants, and in front of your name there is 3 dots. Click on that one and rename your name with your name, and in front of that following your Jazan University ID. By using this, I would be able to locate you, that who can be awarded the e-certificate. So everyone, please, you have to click on the participant list. In front of your name there is 3 dot or more button. Click on that one, click on rename, and add the Jazan University ID followed to your name. In the bracket you can add it, that one. So make it rename first, please. Like Dr. Shala Abasi written, Shalu Dadwal, that is they already mentioned over here. Dr. Shumaila Riaz, they mentioned that one. Dr. Siddiq Osman, but I think 70% didn't mention over there. So first, everyone please do it. Please go ahead and repeat this one, registration link. Second one, we there is one survey. It would take 3 minutes to complete it. Please complete this one. In the last video, we have discussed that is eModo. This is basically eModo is an educational technology company, and they're offering a communication, collaboration, and coaching platforms to K-12 schools and teachers. The ED like network enables teachers to share content, distribute quizzes, assignments, and management communication with students, colleagues, and many other places. So this is just like a learning management system, which we already using that one. But at the end, that is, digital learning doesn't just happen. It requires a careful planning and implementation. And if you do not go with the planning, it will not help you out inside the classroom. So any of the technology or technique you want to implement, you need a careful planning. That was the session for today. And now you can have access to your mic, and if someone asks me the question, they can ask it.